Imagine being transported back to the year 535 AD, a time when the world faced one of the most devastating natural catastrophes in history. A colossal volcanic eruption, likely from the infamous Krakatoa in Indonesia, exploded with unimaginable force, sending ash and debris skyward and turning summer into a bleak winter. This apocalyptic event not only darkened the skies but also triggered a series of chain reactions that changed the course of human history. Prepare to explore how this volcanic eruption shaped the destiny of entire civilizations, causing famine, disease, and conflict, while revealing the incredible adaptability and resilience of humans in the face of adversity. Join us on this fascinating journey through the past to discover how a single natural event can have profound and lasting global impacts. Catastrophic eruption. In 535 AD, an event occurred that would change the course of history, a massive volcanic eruption, likely from the notorious Krakatoa in Indonesia. Imagine the scene, a colossal explosion sending ash and debris skyward, blanketing the atmosphere and turning summer into a bleak winter. The eruption's power was so immense that it threw up enough ash to cause global climatic upheaval. People of that time watched in bewilderment as their world darkened and temperatures dropped. Historians and scientists believe this was the beginning of one of the most profound environmental impacts ever recorded. As the ash spread across the globe, it created a veil that blocked sunlight, leading to significant temperature drops. Crops withered in the fields, unable to survive the sudden cold, and what was once fertile land became barren. Picture farmers from Europe to Asia, struggling to harvest anything from their fields, their livelihoods and sustenance crumbling. These crop failures led to widespread famine, affecting civilizations across continents. The environmental history of this period is a testament to how a single natural disaster can ripple through societies, causing massive upheaval. But this wasn't just about failing crops and colder weather. The volcanic eruption of 535 AD set off a chain reaction that would be felt for generations. As the immediate effects of the eruption settled, the long-term consequences began to unfold. Societies already struggling with food shortages found themselves facing new challenges as famine led to societal upheaval. Communities that had thrived for centuries started to disintegrate, and the fabric of civilizations was tested to its limits. The story of this eruption is not just about nature's fury, but about human resilience and adaptation in the face of climatic catastrophe, drought, and famine. The volcanic ash from the eruption of 535 AD continued to cast its dark shadow over the world, blocking out the sun and reducing temperatures. This sudden and drastic climatic change led to droughts that plagued regions far and wide. Farmers watched helplessly as their fields turned to dust, unable to yield the crops that once thrived. Imagine trying to cultivate a garden in such harsh conditions. No matter how hard you work, the lack of sunlight and water makes it an impossible task. This environmental catastrophe wasn't just a temporary setback. It devastated agricultural productivity on a global scale. With crops failing and the land becoming increasingly infertile, famine spread like wildfire. Communities that once enjoyed bountiful harvests were now scrambling for scraps. Picture families huddled together, rationing what little food they had left, praying for relief that seemed like it would never come. This widespread famine didn't just mean empty bellies. It triggered a cascade of social and economic problems. People were forced to migrate in search of sustenance, leading to the breakdown of social structures and increased conflict over dwindling resources. This period in history is a stark reminder of how closely our survival is tied to the environment. In the face of such dire circumstances, societies had to adapt or perish. The resilience and ingenuity of people during this time were put to the test. Communities had to come up with new ways to cope with the scarcity of food and resources. This might remind us of modern examples of resilience, like how communities today come together during natural disasters, supporting each other and finding innovative solutions to survive. Looking back at this era of drought and famine can inspire us to think about how we might better prepare for and respond to environmental crises in our own time. Impact on the Roman Empire. The climatic catastrophe caused by the volcanic eruption of 535 AD set the stage for another devastating blow, the outbreak of the bubonic plague in 542 AD. The Roman Empire, already weakened by famine and social unrest, faced an unprecedented challenge as the plague spread. Imagine a world where every corner of the empire is touched by this deadly disease, where towns and cities are gripped by fear and death. The plague, known later as the Antonine Plague, struck with such ferocity that it crippled the Roman Empire, leading to mass mortality and severe political instability. The connection between the climatic changes and the spread of the plague is a compelling example of how natural disasters can exacerbate human suffering. Fleas on rats, thriving in the chaos of disrupted environments and desperate human conditions, carried the plague through trade routes and into densely populated areas. The already strained resources of the empire couldn't cope with the sudden increase in demand for medical care and food. This scenario is akin to modern pandemics where disrupted ecosystems and human activities lead to outbreaks of diseases, highlighting the importance of preparedness and robust healthcare systems. As the plague ravaged the Roman Empire, it led to a significant decline in population, weakening the labor force and military might. The once mighty empire struggled to maintain its borders and infrastructure, leading to further political fragmentation and economic decline. Picture a bustling Roman marketplace now eerily silent, with fewer traders and customers, symbolizing the broader societal collapse. The impact on humanity was profound, with the empire's decline paving the way for new powers to rise. This period serves as a crucial lesson in understanding the interconnectedness of environmental changes and their far-reaching consequences on civilizations. Plague transmission. As the Roman Empire grappled with the climatic catastrophe, another menace loomed large: the rapid transmission of the bubonic plague. The plague, carried by fleas on rats, spread like wildfire due to the altered climatic conditions. Imagine the streets of ancient cities, bustling with people, suddenly becoming eerily empty as the disease spread. The fleas thrived in the cooler, damper environments caused by the volcanic ash, and their hosts, rats, found ample opportunities to infest human settlements, facilitating the spread of the plague. The spread of the plague wasn't just a consequence of chance. It was deeply intertwined with the environmental upheaval. The rats, fleeing the disrupted natural habitats, invaded human spaces, carrying the deadly plague with them. This scenario is reminiscent of how modern diseases spread through disrupted ecosystems. The rapid transmission was exacerbated by the movement of people and goods, much like how today's globalized world sees the swift spread of pandemics. The plague's devastation was a grim reminder of how closely human health is linked to environmental stability. Communities were ill-prepared for the onslaught of the plague, and the death toll rose sharply. Picture small villages and large cities alike, struggling to cope with the overwhelming number of sick and dying. The societal response was a mix of panic, superstition, and desperate attempts at containment. This historical moment parallels modern outbreaks where misinformation and fear can hinder effective responses. The plague's impact on the Roman Empire serves as a stark lesson in the importance of public health measures and the need for swift, coordinated action in the face of epidemics. A Var and Turk battle. The climatic changes brought about by the volcanic eruption of 535 AD didn't just affect settled civilizations. They also had profound impacts on nomadic societies. In Mongolia, the cold and dry conditions weakened the horse-reliant Avar economy. Picture vast steppes where the once flourishing herds of horses now struggled to find enough grazing land. The Avars, whose power and mobility depended heavily on their horses, found themselves at a significant disadvantage. This environmental shift created an opportunity for the cattle-reliant Turks, who thrived in these harsher conditions. The Turks, less dependent on horses and more resilient to the cold and drought, saw their chance and seized it. The battle between the Avars and the Turks was not just a clash of armies, but a testament to how environmental factors can tip the balance of power. Imagine the Turkish warriors, with their sturdy cattle and adaptable ways of life, pushing against the weakened Avar forces. This period in history is a vivid example of how climate can influence military outcomes and reshape political landscapes. The victory of the Turks over the Avars highlights the adaptability and resilience of societies that can thrive despite environmental adversities. The downfall of the Avars and the rise of the Turks had ripple effects across the region. The shift in power dynamics influenced trade routes, alliances, and the flow of goods and people. This historical episode reminds us of the importance of adaptability in the face of environmental changes. It echoes modern situations where countries and communities must pivot and adapt to changing climates and resources. The lesson here is clear. Those who can adapt to their environment, leveraging their strengths and mitigating their weaknesses, will thrive even in the face of adversity. Decline of Teotihuacan. In Central America, the catastrophic eruption of 535 AD had profound impacts on the mighty city of Teotihuacan. This metropolis, known for its grandeur and influence, found itself grappling with the prolonged drought that followed the volcanic event. Imagine the vibrant markets and bustling streets of Teotihuacan, now silent as water sources dried up and agriculture faltered. The drought, a direct consequence of the climatic upheaval, left the city's inhabitants struggling to survive. Crops failed, and the once thriving civilization faced severe food shortages. As the drought persisted, the societal structure of Teotihuacan began to crumble. The city's leaders, unable to provide solutions, lost their grip on power. Picture the desperation of the people, once loyal and supportive, now questioning their rulers and seeking answers. This internal strife further weakened the city's stability. The environmental disaster was not just a test of survival, but a catalyst for political and social upheaval. The decline of Teotihuacan is a stark reminder of how environmental stresses can lead to the downfall of even the most advanced societies. The fall of Teotihuacan had far-reaching consequences. As the city declined, neighboring regions saw shifts in power and influence. The vacuum left by Teotihuacan's fall allowed other cultures and cities to rise. This period of transition is akin to modern instances where environmental crises lead to significant geopolitical changes. The story of Teotihuacan's decline serves as a lesson in the importance of resilience and adaptability. It shows that environmental sustainability is crucial for the longevity of civilizations. Today, as we face our own environmental challenges, the history of Teotihuacan urges us to take proactive measures to safeguard our future. Rise of Islam. The volcanic eruption of 535 AD had far-reaching effects, even influencing the rise of new political and religious centers. In Yemen, the climatic chaos caused the Marib Dam to fail, leading to widespread flooding and the displacement of many communities. Imagine the fertile lands of Yemen suddenly submerged and rendered unusable, forcing people to migrate in search of new homes. This mass migration contributed to significant shifts in population and power dynamics in the Arabian Peninsula. Among these new centers were Mecca and Medina, where a new religion, Islam, began to take root and flourish. As people moved into these burgeoning cities, the seeds of Islam found fertile ground. The environmental turmoil and subsequent social upheaval created a context in which new ideas could spread rapidly. Imagine the bustling markets of Mecca, where traders and travelers from diverse backgrounds exchanged goods and stories, including the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. This environment of flux and change was ripe for the emergence of a unifying spiritual and political force. The rise of Islam in this context underscores how natural disasters can inadvertently set the stage for profound cultural and religious transformations. The early Islamic community, like many others affected by the eruption, had to adapt to the new realities of their environment. The teachings of Islam, with its emphasis on community support and resilience, resonated deeply with those facing hardship and uncertainty. This period saw the establishment of new societal norms and governance structures that would shape the Islamic world for centuries. The rise of Islam is a testament to the power of faith and community in overcoming adversity. It reminds us that in times of crisis, new beginnings and innovations can emerge, shaping the course of history in unexpected ways. Global consequences. The volcanic eruption of 535 AD triggered a series of climatic and political changes that reshaped civilizations across Europe, the Middle East, and the Americas. This single natural disaster had a domino effect, influencing a multitude of events and transitions globally. Imagine a world where every region is touched by the shadow of this eruption, each reacting and adapting in its unique way. The cooling of the climate, widespread famine, and societal upheavals are just the beginning of the story. These global consequences highlight the interconnectedness of human societies and the far-reaching impacts of environmental events. In Europe, the eruption exacerbated existing tensions and conflicts. The already struggling Roman Empire faced even greater challenges as resources dwindled and political instability grew. Picture the European landscape, where kingdoms and tribes jostle for power amidst the chaos, leading to shifting alliances and the rise and fall of leaders. This period of upheaval set the stage for the eventual formation of new political entities and the transformation of the medieval world. The climatic catastrophe served as both a catalyst and a crucible for change, shaping the course of European history. Meanwhile, in the Middle East, the rise of Islam was just one of many significant changes influenced by the eruption. The movement of peoples and the establishment of new power centers were part of a broader pattern of adaptation and resilience. Similarly, in the Americas, the decline of Teotihuacan created opportunities for other cultures to rise and fill the power vacuum. Imagine the diverse societies across these regions, each navigating the challenges posed by the climatic shifts and finding ways to survive and thrive. The story of this period is a testament to human ingenuity and the ability to adapt to even the most severe disruptions. These global consequences also serve as a powerful reminder of the fragility of human civilizations in the face of natural disasters. The eruption of 535 AD, with its far-reaching impacts, underscores the importance of understanding our environment and preparing for potential crises. It challenges us to think about our own vulnerabilities and the ways we can build more resilient societies. By studying the past, we gain valuable insights into how to navigate the challenges of the present and future, ensuring that we are better equipped to handle whatever comes our way. Conclusion. Looking back at the devastating eruption of 535 AD, we see more than just a catastrophic natural event. We see a turning point in human history. This volcanic explosion not only darkened the skies, but also cast a shadow of hardship over civilizations worldwide, leading to famine, disease, and conflict. Yet, amid the chaos, we witness the incredible resilience of humanity. Societies adapted, overcame unimaginable challenges, and in many cases, emerged stronger and more united. History teaches us that even in the face of the greatest adversities, the human capacity to endure and adapt is extraordinary. By understanding the global impacts of events like the 535 AD eruption, we can better prepare to face environmental crises and future challenges. The resilience and adaptability demonstrated by our ancestors serve as a powerful reminder that together, we can overcome any storm. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time.